Courtney, thanks so much for joining me here on the Homeschool Sanity Show. I would love to have you start by telling us more about you and your family.
So before I start with that, I just want to thank you for having me on here. And the Homeschool Sanity podcast, website, YouTube is awesome. Like, seriously, Melanie, I am amazed at how long you've been doing this, like, so consistently. And I think there's so many different stages of parenting, of homeschooling, and the fact that you have been through all the stages and can seriously from like preschool to college is amazing. It's such a good resource. So thank you so much. Seriously, as like someone who's homeschooled, I really do appreciate it. I have three young daughters, ages 3, 6, and 10, and I've homeschooled. So my husband and I have been married for almost 11 years and we live in Utah. So, yeah.
So, why did you choose to begin homeschooling in the first place? And really, before I asked you that question, I should have said thank you so much for giving me all the
Yeah.
props.
Yeah.
It honestly
No, thank
it,
you.
it's still just mind blowing to me that it's been that long because it seems like just a few weeks ago that I was in your shoes with young children. So I appreciate you a whole lot. Okay, so why did you choose to begin homeschooling?
So I actually didn't choose homeschooling. It chose me. My I started homeschooling when I was in 8th grade and my parents made me. Like it was totally against my will. I was not for it. I was a very rebellious kid and was getting into trouble and they just felt like they had no choice but to homeschool me. And of course, like being a rebellious kid, that's the last thing I want. I have 10 siblings and I was the only one homeschooled. And I honestly like hated it. Like the first year, I was like, this is seriously prison for me. I do not like this. I want to be out. I want to be doing what I want to do. And so that's how I started my homeschooling journey.
Wow. Well, that is a first
Yeah.
for my guess, I think. So, what
Yes.
changed to make you like it?
So I would say it probably took a full year of me being like getting over my pride, getting over like my parents are always wrong type energy. And I was really focusing at first, that first year on like, math, English, writing, science, the like basic things. Okay, just bare minimum, get through it. I was doing a lot of it online, some of it with workbooks, but I was doing it by myself at home, the daily grind. And what actually changed was I took an elective that was fun, and it was dance. And it was the first time I had tried dance, and I just loved it. And I realized how much more time I had being homeschooled to be able to dance. My siblings were going to school for 6 hours a day, coming home doing homework, and I had like 2 hours to do what they wanted to do. Whereas I could get those foundational things, the science, the math, everything done. If I just got up and got it done, it could be done in 2 hours. And I could spend the rest of my time dancing. And so that's what I did. I danced for hours and hours every day, and it just brought me so much joy and fulfillment. And it was such a wholesome thing. Looking back now, I don't think I would have been like, this is so wholesome. But like, I'm realizing how important that was for me to focus my energy in a wholesome place that was just fun and got me energized, got me moving, and I honestly improved my other subjects when I started dancing because it just made me happy.
Wow. That is a really
Yeah.
neat testimony that you have there. So, do you incorporate that for your own girls then?
Oh, 100%. Yes. So, as a former homeschooler, I feel like I have a little bit of a perspective that I would have had or I wouldn't have had if I hadn't homeschooling my children. So I'm like a natural, like now that I'm an adult, I'm like a list maker. I'm gonna check this off. Okay, we need to do this. 45 minutes here, 30 minutes here. Like that's just naturally how I am. Every morning I make a list of things to do. And that just doesn't work very well with children all the time. And I think that if I hadn't been homeschooled myself, I would have been a little more strict with my children homeschooling, and I don't think it would have turned out as well. I think I would have focused on those core subjects a lot more than I do now because I've realized how much can be learned in those subjects, in those areas that aren't the traditional math, science, English. And
Hmm.
so I read this book the other day. I'm trying to remember. It was a book on homeschooling, and something in it like really spoke to me. And I don't think I would have gotten this if I hadn't been homeschooled myself, but it was okay, if you have a kindergartner and they're going to school and they're sick one day and they miss the day where they learn about the color blue, just think that poor kid, the rest of their life, they're going to look at the sky and wonder what color it is. It's very like so much comes around. And kids are resilient. They're so smart. And there's so many other activities and places they can put their energy where they are learning. They're constantly learning. And so it's really helped me to be more relaxed in my homeschooling. And I think it's really benefited my kids. And it's also helped me stay sane.
Right. Well, I love that. So, speaking now as a home educator yourself and also someone who believes in dance as an activity, what do you think the advantages are for homeschoolers who participate in dance as part of their education?
Yeah, I think that there's three main things that I kind of focus on. And I feel like adding in other things, whether it's dance, whether it's martial arts, whether it's art, whatever it is, I think it just creates a more well-rounded child and it creates a happier child. And a happier child is going to be more excited about life. And I think at the end of the day, as a parent, what I'm trying to focus on, what every parent is trying to focus on, is just raising good, happy kids. And so I think adding in those other things that just bring joy are very helpful. For dance specifically, there's three kind of pillars that I have recognized and noticed and speak out about. And the first is a cognitive development. So, dance has been shown to enhance memory, attention, problem solving skills, and that in turn shows in the other subjects, which is kind of what I experienced. And then the emotional well being. It provides a really good outlet for creative expression, reducing stress, improving mood, and building confidence, which I think is a really important thing with kids, especially nowadays where there's so much comparison out there. And then just physical fitness, just moving, staying active, staying healthy is really important as well.
Yes, well, those are excellent, and I can absolutely add that I have seen research that verifies that as well. That there are those
Yeah.
benefits for music and absolutely for dance. The physical fitness part, in particular, for our physical well-being with dance. So I love that. So, what led you to create udance.com? And what needs did you see in the homeschooling community that you wanted to address with it?
I know the benefits of dance because I saw them firsthand with myself. And so I just really felt compelled to bring that to other families, bring more joy, more movement into the home. And so actually with my children, this was 10 years ago. I would go on YouTube and find dance videos for my daughter and for myself. We would do them together, she'd do them alone. And YouTube is great. Like it can be a really great thing, but there's a lot of drawbacks. It's very inconsistent. Video to video, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if they're qualified teachers, you don't know if it's good quality video. The ads are distracting and sometimes inappropriate. The music and movement can be inappropriate. And so I went to my husband and I said, "Look, we we need to do something. Like people need dance in their lives. They need this movement, they need this joy, and they need it in a wholesome and safe way." and I wanted to reach the masses. And so the way you reach the masses is online, and you make that so much more accessible for everyone because everyone doesn't have the means or location to be able to go to a dance studio. And so that's kind of where it started. I said something needs to change. And so we really focused on having wholesome content on we don't have ads on our website. We don't have pop-ups, nothing distracting, and the videos flow really well from one to another. We have qualified dance instructors. Just all things that I think are really important and unfortunately really hard to find with dance nowadays, online or in person. The wholesome music with no subliminal messaging and the movements that are wholesome. It's hard to find, and that's sad, but it is. And so we wanted to find or create a space where people could have that.
Well, that is really neat. Now, when my daughter was in dance, I never would have even thought to look for anything online, of course. That was a long time ago. But I mean, it just makes sense that you would offer something away from YouTube that would be private lessons that could be done in the home. Can you explain the mission of udance.com and what you are trying to do to support homeschooling families with it?
So, our mission is to provide a safe, wholesome, engaging online education platform for homeschooling families that bring more movement, creativity, and joy to the homeschooler. And I really, again, those three pillars, the physical, cognitive, emotional well being of the child is really our focus.
All
And
right.
and
So,
another thing with the online dance that I think homeschoolers really relate to is the flexible scheduling. Because I know that's a big draw to homeschooling is to have that flexibility and not be tied to that schedule. And so all of our videos are on demand. You go on and access at any time. We don't do live classes. And we also have a really diverse amount of styles that you can learn. And
mhm.
so I always say you can dabble in them all, focus on one, or just become the master of them all. We have 5 different styles of dance. And sometimes you don't really know what style like speaks to you and what you really enjoy the most until you try them. And so I really wanted to have a way where kids can have access to a lot of different types of dance and figure out what speaks to them because I think every kid's different.
Well, that is a huge advantage that you can, because, when I signed my daughter up, of course, you're going to sign them up for typically one type of dance, and then you're committed. So I love that you're giving students the opportunity to try many different styles. So you have said that you keep udance.com free from social media and advertisements. How do you think that benefits the students who participate?
Well, I think focus is a really hard thing for kids nowadays. There's always so much coming at us, so much going on. There's advertisements everywhere, like the radio, billboards, social media has advertisements. And I think we're just really overrun. And something that people don't realize is there was a study done, I forget which college, it was a college in California did a study, and they followed kids around with cameras on them for like a week. And the amount of advertisements they were seeing on a daily basis, it's insane. And the problem is kids, young kids around 8 and younger, they don't realize that advertisements aren't real. What they see is what they believe, and that's their reality. And so when they're seeing all these different, like, this unicorn will make you happy, or this, will make you healthy, this, whatever it is, like, they think it's true. And so it's very confusing and it's very distracting. And I think that, like, we just need to add less noise to the world. That's my goal. I just want less noise. I want a place people can go and just be happy and not distracted and focused. And social media, I think, does have a lot of pros for sure, but I personally don't have social media. My husband doesn't, my kids won't, my business doesn't. It's there's a lot on there that is not wholesome. It's and even if you have the best intentions, things pop up and children get into that mode of comparison, and I just want to instill confidence in them with this and just show them, they're not comparing themselves to anyone. They're
Mhm.
there with their parents' phone, their phone, the laptop, mirrored to the TV, however they're viewing the dance classes. It's them and the instructor, and it's very uplifting, and the instructor is very encouraging. And it's a very positive, safe environment for them. Dance like no one's watching. That's what they're doing. No one's
Mm.
watching them. Let loose, have fun, learn a new skill, be happy. And there's no pressure at all.
Well, that sounds really great. So, what is your membership model? In other words, do people
So,
pay
yeah.
monthly and then they access everything, or how does it work?
Yes. So every membership that we have is all access. So we have hip hop, we have clogging, we have ballet, contemporary, and jazz classes. And as of right now, we have about 218 weeks worth of content. So you'll go in, you'll pick a style to start with. You can jump around if you want, but what I suggest doing is you pick a style and you progress through that course. And when that course is done, it'll lead you to another course. So it's very progressive, it's very simple. It's taught through video, but there's also quizzes along the way to kind of reinforce that knowledge, make sure that they're understanding and on the right track, multiple choice quizzes. And then we have monthly memberships, we have yearly, and then we have a lifetime membership. And I actually made a discount code just for your users, um, or your listeners and your followers, because I just feel like I just want everyone to be able to access it, and I would love for you to try it out. And if it works for your family, great. If it doesn't, great. But the first month is going to be only $5. You can try it out, see if your kids connect with it, see if you connect with it, if it's a good thing for your family or not. And that discount code is Sanity24. So SANITY 24. And if you go to udance.com, which it's youdance.com, you can put that discount code in, and it's only $5 for the first month.
Well, that is amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, you could get incredible benefit just in a 1 month membership if you decided it wasn't for you. I mean, wow. So thank you so very much. And I
Yeah.
am just delighted that you reached out to me. I really love sharing all the different opportunities that we have to teach our kids different skills and subjects. And you are the first person who teaches dance that I've had on the podcast. And this was just delightful. I wish I had young kids that I could have do your lessons, or even just any kids. But mine are all adults now. But maybe the grandkids, Courtney. Someday I'll have grandkids.
Perfect. I'll get you an account, Melanie. You can dance.
Okay, okay. I would love to. I
Yes.
never took dance as a child, and it just
Awesome.
wasn't, they didn't offer that in my small town where I was raised. So anyway, but that would be a blast. Thank you so much. And just tell us again where
Thank
people
you.
should go.
Yep. So our website is youdance.com, youdance.com. And we have some free dance samples. If they want to go give their email, we'll send over a link. They can sample out some lessons, or you can just go straight to the sign up, use that discount code Sanity24, and it's only $5 for the first month. If it works for you, keep going. If it doesn't, great. If it works for you for the month and then you want to quit, that's fine too. Just try it out. It's a fun time, and I think that a lot of kids will benefit from it. They already have, and it's a really, really fun thing to see.
Well, that is wonderful. Thanks again, Courtney. This was really a delight
Yeah.
for me to get to know you better.